get back as well. But because we have a short week, Carolyn will be with us here today, coming up in about 15 minutes. We also will hear from Jeff Safford, the voice of the Missoula Paddleheads. He's talking all things baseball in hour number 2. We talked the evolution of the Pioneer League, the evolution of the Paddleheads, and also where we're at the All-Star break for Major League Baseball as well. So a deep dive into the baseball world for sure. And we'll talk World Cup and Montana Mile and British Open intermittently as well here on 102.9 ESPN Radio. Well, we start with the unbelievable result from the second semifinal match of the World Cup. This played out this afternoon. Argentina versus England. That was the number 2 Argentinians versus the number 4 Englishmen. All 4 of the top 4 teams in the world made it to the quarterfinals, or made it to the semifinals, of the World Cup bracket. So that was pretty impressive. And Argentina, who are the defending World Cup champions, they will have a chance to defend their World Cup title as they take on Spain in what will be a much anticipated championship match on Sunday. So that's a heck of a sports Sunday for July 19th, I'll tell you that. You got the World Cup final between the 2 premier clubs in the world, the 2 premier national teams, I should say, in the world. You got a variety of the best players in the world going at it, and then you also are going to have the best golfers in the world coming down the stretch at the Open Championship at Royal Birkendale. I was thinking, I was hoping it would be Argentina-Spain just because, first of all, I love dynasties. I love when teams have a chance to really affirm themselves as an all-time great group, and that's what Argentina has right now. They have a chance to go back-to-back. And also it's a chance for Lionel Messi to further cement his legacy as one of, if not the greatest soccer players in the history of the sport. And also the fact that Lionel Messi played a good portion of his professional career in Spain also adds just a renewed sort of storyline to the rivalry as well. But I also thought it would have been cool if England would have made it, just because you would have the British Open and England in the World Cup Championship going on at the same time. That would be a heck of a day for anybody that's from England to be following along. If you're wondering in terms of back-to-back World Cup champions, it has not happened since 1958 and 1962 when Brazil went back-to-back. Italy also went back-to-back 1934 and 1938. Other than that, there's been a new champion basically every time. 1978 and 1986, Argentina won, but Italy won in between. So Argentina won 2 out of 3 then. Brazil won 2 out of 3. They played in 3 straight World Cup finals. That was the only team to ever do that, 94, 98, and 2002. France was trying to become the second team to ever play in 3 straight World Cup title games, but that did not happen with France's loss yesterday to the Spanish. So there's a lot on the line here with this World Cup final, and certainly it was a fun one to watch today as it was 1-1. It came all the way down the wire. It was actually 1-0 England, and then Messi had a cross that resulted in a goal to bring it to 1-1 with about, 10, 15 minutes left in the match. And then at the end of regular time, I think it was between like 89 and 91 minutes when the go-ahead goal came, but it was also on a Messi assist. So Messi becomes the all-time leader in assists in World Cup history with his 2 assists today. He leads to both Argentina goals, and they have been the comeback kids. They have been the ones that have been on the ropes, back against the wall multiple times, and they've been able to figure out a way to come back and win, and so much of that is because of the Flea, one of the greatest to ever do it. And I don't know how to stack it up when it comes to the hierarchy of all-time soccer players. Like it's a lot easier for me to compare basketball players from before I was born with basketball players that have played during my lifetime. Baseball, it's getting harder in baseball, but you still have some analysis points. Same thing in football. In soccer, I mean, I think that Messi probably stands alone next to Pele. And I cannot profess to have ever seen Pele play. Messi had to become the greatest player from his country first, because Diego Maradona is on the Mount Rushmore as well. Maradona was a cultural phenomenon, not just in Argentina, but around the world. And that 1986 World Cup victory for Argentina, that was one of the most storied and highly exposed World Cup finals ever. For example, 1986, they played in Mexico City. 115,000 people attended that match between Argentina and West Germany, and Maradona played a huge hand in lifting Argentina to a 3-2 win. But Messi had to become the best player in his country first, and because if you become better than Maradona, you're one of the 2 or 3 or 4 best players ever. But now I think it's Messi and Pele. I think those are the two that are in the front of the conversation for the GOAT in the history of soccer. There's been a whole bunch of other unbelievable players, but Messi is right there, and especially given his come-from-behind antics today and the fact that he's got Argentina knocking on the door, becoming the first repeat champion in almost 70 years. That's pretty impressive, and it was a pretty impressive comeback victory for Argentina today against the English. Nuanez Now, 1029 ESPN Radio. You want to stream it, you always can. 1029ESPN.com. You can also find us on the ESPN MT app and on YouTube and on Facebook. And if you'd like to be a part of the show, 406-888-1029. That's 888-1029. Who do you think is the GOAT of all time when it comes to men's soccer? Text us, 406-888-1029. Let us know. Is it Messi? Is it somebody else? 406-888-1029. As always, we're coming to you through the Grizzly Disposal Studio. Grizzly Disposal is locally owned and veteran-owned, and the only Bears that should be in your garbage. This is a fun deal that's going on Friday night in Billings, actually in Lockwood, which is just right outside of Billings. But the Montana, the Big Sky State Games, which is sort of like the Amateur Athlete Olympics for the state of Montana, that will have its opening ceremonies Friday night, and it's highlighted by 2 really cool events. The first event, the Montana Mile, which is a collection of the best distance runners in the state. We talked about this a little bit earlier this week on the show, but there's some fun names in the field, especially on the women's side. Sage Brooks has won the Montana Mile twice. She is the defending champ. She's from Missoula. She spent her first year of college at Syracuse, and then most recently she ran in she currently runs at Oregon State. But we also have a couple high school phenoms. Karis Brightwings Pease was a state cross-country champion when she was an 8th grader at Hardin High School. And then again as a freshman, she has also won the 1,600 and the 3,200 meters at the Class A state track meet. And then she transferred from Hardin to Billings Central. Her both teammate and rival is Addison Kegel. So Brightwings Pease is going to be a junior at Billings Central. Kegel is going to be a sophomore at Billings Central. Kegel is already running the Montana Mile. This will be her 3rd one. She's the cross-country and Gatorade track and field athletes of the year this last year. I mean, she's won the state championship in cross-country and all the distance races. She's also claimed the Nike Regional Northwest crown. So she is like, I mean, you don't want to curse anybody or jinx them. She's on track to be one of the greatest runners in the history of the state. She's only a sophomore in high school. So that'll be the first event, the Montana Mile. And then they have the Montana 100, which is a new event. This is only the 2nd year of that. The Montana Mile on the men's side has been going on for 35 years, 27 on the women's side. But the Montana 100 meters made its debut last year. Kaimea Delke won on the women's side. Zach Merrifield won on the men's side. So since they were the first winners, they have their respective records. Delke, who's from Shepherd, ran 12.54 seconds. And Merrifield, who's from Butte, ran 11.1 seconds. Neither one of them is participating this year, so we'll have a new champion and a chance at records. The highlights, I mean, there's a whole bunch of great runners in this, but probably the top highlight on the girls' side is that Emery Peel will run in her hometown. She's a recent graduate of Billings Senior High School. She's headed to Montana Tech to run in collegiately. She set the all-class state record in the 100 meters this last spring. She won the 100 meters and the 200 meters of the AA meet and also helped her Bronx team's place in all the relays as well. She's a very, very talented runner, and she was the first young lady ever to go sub 12 seconds in the 100 meters in Montana high school. So I think that makes her the favorite, but there's plenty of other really competitive runners in the field as well. You got runners from the collegiate ranks, and so that should be a fun race. On the men's side, probably the storylines that stand out the most, Jackson Allery, who's a Missoula Sentinel graduate, but he currently runs at Montana Tech. He was the AA state champion in the 100 meters 2 years ago. He also qualified for nationals at the NAIA ranks in the 100 meters, so he should certainly be a contender. You got a couple future Grizz that are running in this, Grizz football players, that is. Dawson Hammond, who's a Malta graduate and a incoming freshman at the University of Montana. He was a great athlete in 3 different sports at Malta High School, and he'll be running in this Montana 100 meters. Braden Zickman, who is also an incoming Grizz, but he still has to play his senior year of high school at Manhattan. But he was a sub-11 second guy in the 100 meters during his junior year at Manhattan. He's a guy that's slated to play receiver for the Grizz. So is Hammond. So you got a couple Class B kids that are potentially going to be offensive skill guys at Montana, so that's pretty cool. And probably the favorite, though, is Buck Prather from Columbus High School. It's funny that I'm saying that the favorites are the high school kids, even though there's collegiate runners in this. You'd think the collegiates would be really great, but I think you have multiple college caliber runners in the mile and the 100 meters that are still in high school. Buck Prather was on this show a little while ago. He's going to be a junior at Columbus. He smashed the Class B record in the 200 meters and flirted with the all-class record in the 200, which is one of, in my opinion, the most unbreakable records in Montana. But maybe not, because he's going to break it if he continues on his trajectory. He swept the 100 and the 200 and the 4x1 and the 4x4 as Columbus won the state championship in Class B. Prather's also been running on the club circuit and has been making waves. He placed in the short relay and the 100 and the 200 at an international meet in Australia earlier on this summer. So, I mean, again, he's only going to be a junior in high school, but he's an unbelievable talent, and he's certainly one of the favorites there in the Montana 100 meters as well. Those 2 events, the Montana Mile and the Montana 100, will open up the Big Sky State Games in Billings. We'll have plenty of coverage for you of the Big Sky State Games next week. Nuanez Now, ESPN Radio. Carol, the Chicken Doesn't Know Sports, an early appearance. She'll join us next. Don't change that dial. Keep her right here. Red's Bar is a beloved institution in downtown Missoula. Whether you want to watch a game, enjoy a cold beer, spend time with friendly faces, or simply wind down, the welcoming atmosphere and wonderful staff at Red's will make you feel right at home. Red's features 14 HD TVs and 2 full-service bars. Stop by and grab a beer with friends while you watch your favorite team play, and check out the extensive collection of awesome sports memorabilia.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check at Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires.
If we can't guarantee it, we won't sell it.
At Shields, we're anglers, endlessly seeking and refining techniques. We're hunters and storytellers because we've been out there. We're experts that put products and gear to the test so we can share that knowledge with you. At Shields, we understand your outdoor journey and the path you're on because we walk it too, every step of the way. Shields, right there with you.
Mountain Town Vacation Rental Management, your local partner for vacation rental success. We provide a fully customized hosting experience tailored to your needs and goals. Your home is listed on every major site, helping you maximize visibility and bookings. And our local team is available 24/7 to handle guest needs and booking inquiries. Let us take the stress out of managing your vacation home. Contact us today at mountaintownvrm.com or give us a call at 406-369-3080.
The rare moments in life, they're not just few and far between. They're meant to be treasured.
Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino. At the Stone of Accord, we use the freshest ingredients to create our homemade traditional Irish classics, fresh salads, and creative specials. Come enjoy our warm, family-friendly atmosphere. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
Became the inaugural champions, setting the first ever Montana 100-meter records. Dalkey won the women's race in 12.54 seconds, while Merrifield captured the men's title in 11.1 seconds. Even faster times are expected this year, and new champions will be crowned, with neither Dalkey nor Merrifield returning to defend their titles. One of the favorites in the women's race is recent Billings graduate Emery Peel, who shattered the all-time state class record in the 100 meters at the Class AA State Track and Field Championships in May. Peel also claimed state titles in both the 100 and 200 meters. The men's field features several of the Montana's top sprinters, including future Montana Grizzly football player Dawson Hammond, a recent Malta graduate, and Braden Zickman, who will be a senior at Manhattan this fall. Also competing is Garrett Buck Prather, who will be a junior at Columbus after sweeping the sprint events at the Class B State Track and Field Championships and narrowly missing the all-time Class State record in the 200 meters.
This ESPN Missoula Sports Center is presented by Canyon River Golf Club. Nuanez Now on ESPN Radio.
Sad to miss these guys at Zootown Festival this year. I've seen Tedeschi trucks multiple times out at the Kettle House Amphitheater. It's always a great show. They rock out, and it just didn't align with the schedule this year, but certainly always fun. If you can see them, you certainly should. Well, it's now on tonight ESPN Radio, one of your favorites, just a day early. What a treat. You get Carolyn, the Chicken Doesn't Know Sports, on your hump day. I was trying to remember what day of the week it was. Here we are, because we don't have a show tomorrow or the next day, but then we have shows every day for the rest of time. So enjoy the rest of summer.
Is this your last break before football craziness?
Yeah, football starts next week. So Big Sky Media Days, here we go. And then we're rocking and rolling. We got some big news coming down the pipe, so we'll leave it at that. But should be fun. But as we record here on this Wednesday, the World Cup final is set, and you have Argentina versus Spain. Argentina wins in thrilling fashion, a goal in the 91st minute on an unbelievable cross from Lionel Messi into a header, and Argentina beats England 2-1. So that's pretty fun. I can't believe how much I've gotten into soccer here these last couple of weeks.
Did you hear about the time traveler who tweeted that he came to 2026 and Spain and Argentina we're playing, and I think Argentina wins 3-2. And
wow.
It's like a whole tweet that went out, I think, in 2011.
Okay.
And he predicted that they would be meeting in 2026 in the World Cup. And, yeah.
Well, very cool. I don't know if I'm going to follow the time traveler. And
if that happens, will you believe in time travel?
Well, I already do, so it's good.
I don't know why I even asked that.
I watched The Terminator.
I don't know why I even asked
They
that
told
question.
us exactly what's going to happen back in 1984.
And it's happening.
And we're creeping right up on it. Someday John Connors and Sarah Connors and Arnold Schwarzenegger are going to show up, and we're going to be like, whoa, that movie was real.
Yeah.
Predictions of the future.
I mean, Idiocracy is real.
Oh, boy.
So that came true.
Oh, boy. Indeed it did.
Yeah.
I had all sorts of stuff for you, but
fun.
First of all, Time Magazine did its annual 100 most influential sports figures.
Okay.
Yesterday, I had a segment where we didn't actually get to it because I just wanted to get there if we needed to. But Yannick Sinner just won Wimbledon.
Okay.
This is his 5th Grand Slam. He also has a peer, which is a great thing in tennis. Agassi, Sampras, Federer, Nadal, like the rivalries, and McEnroe and Bjorn Borg, like the rivalries in men's tennis have always been the thing that's driven it forward. But I've just been perplexed lately about how little of the piece of the pie that tennis gets in America, and I don't really know why. But then I look at this list of the top 100 most influential people in sports, and I realize that I only know probably like 70% of it. And then I realize, is that just because of the way that like the modern day American sports machine works?
The way it's consumed now, you mean?
Yeah, and like I just get force fed. Like I know everything about the NFL and the NBA, and I don't ever see Wimbledon results. Whereas back in the day, I would have that information even though I didn't have a computer in my pocket. Why? It's so perplexing.
Your
to me.
algorithm.
Yeah. I like the demise.
Everything is created for you.
Yeah,
based on likes and
true.
comments.
That's true. So maybe I need to go find some tennis accounts.
Yeah, because my friend just texted me over the weekend that she got some algorithm report, and hers was hot Italian tennis hunks.
Oh my God.
And I can't remember what else. And I was like, what are you watching? And she's like, I've been really into Wimbledon. I don't know. I don't know what hot Italian tennis hunk was on Wimbledon, but I don't really follow tennis. I used to always follow tennis.
So how did you follow it before you had a computer in your pocket?
I subscribed to Tennis Magazine.
See? So I do think that's a part of it, though. I really do think that I used to follow it because Sports Illustrated had a tennis writer, and there would be a tennis feature, like not all the time, but around the majors. So you could read about Venus Williams or Andre Agassi.
But we're also in World Cup, that is taking over everything right now. So I don't know if next summer it would be different, but World Cup is really taking over.
I also think that golf has become way easier to follow, and that's replaced tennis for a lot of people, not just in their algorithm, but just in their viewing habits.
Also, fewer people are playing tennis.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Recreation.
I also just wonder if part of it is just there's just not an American. So the American news cycle, like there isn't just like an elite American male. There's elite American women, and I know about women's tennis more, I think, probably because of that.
Yeah.
Like Coco Gauff is on this list, and that's I think a huge part of it. But it's interesting because Carlos Alvarez and Yannick Sinner are amazing. They are like on the Federer Nadal trajectory. And they have each other to push each other along. Sinner, I think, is 25. Like Alvarez is like 23. They have 12 Grand Slams between the two of them. So I was just sort of perplexed as to why I just don't know more about this.
Yeah, I just think tennis is... But, this particular thing, nothing is organic. Like, okay, we have to cover this kind of person and this kind of sport, and we don't want to offend this person.
That's really interesting.
So
I'll be completely honest. I have not watched a second of the WNBA in years, but I know all about
all the
WNBA storylines because it's part of the conversation.
Right. Well, it's actually in my notes for today.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
There are WNBA players. I mean, Asia Wilson's on here. Caitlin Clark is on here. I'm sure there's probably a couple more from the WNBA. There's also some college women's basketball people. Dawn Staley on the list as well. So, but there's also a whole bunch of people on here that I just don't know at all, which is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I guess I thought you knew everything about sports.
Well, see, and this is in the world,
right?
So, like, I don't feel bad, and I'm not perplexed why I don't know who the best women's cricket player in the world is, but there is a excellent women's cricket player from India who has like 10 million followers on all the social media.
And that's lovely that they put her on this list, but I wouldn't call her, well, I guess if she has that many I guess if you're counting off of followers on Instagram, yes, she would be influential.
I mean, like Sun Ying Xia. I learned all about Sun Ying Xia. She is the greatest table tennis player in the history of the sport.
Oh.
From China. And so again, I mean, the influence, it's not just American influence, right?
Right.
It's global influence. And I think sometimes we're just sort of absent. We're just blind to how much influence people have, especially like on the eastern part of the world.
Especially through their phones.
Yes, for sure.
Because I have no idea who these people are. I don't follow any of them. But if they have 10 million followers, they've got some influence.
No doubt. Nuanez Now July, ESPN Radio. Carol, let you guys know sports joined us here on this Wednesday. All right, what do you got this
Well,
week?
you brought up the WNBA, and WNBA, it's more like what TF. Okay, what is going on? Thank you.
The Sophie Cunningham meme has been cracking me up.
I love the Sophie Cunningham meme, but Caitlin Clark is getting the crap kicked out of her at every game. And so this last game or a couple games ago, Alicia Thomas, sorry, I can't read my own handwriting, punched Caitlin Clark in the neck.
Whoa.
And girl punch, but it was still a punch. And the WNBA wasn't going to do anything about it, and the NBA had to step in and say something. The WNBA got letters from like Indiana senators or Congress saying like, this is a really bad look because they're attacking her, and they are so jealous of her. I mean, you should see. I saw a highlight of all the times she got kind of beat up so far this season. I would have been gone crying in the corner. She's pretty tough.
She's definitely tough.
But I would like to go back to the WNBA of yesteryear when they just were throwing green dildos on this court. This is like really messed up what they're doing to her.
It also just seems sort of foolish too, right? 'Cause
right.
She should be like one of the stars that they're trying to protect.
So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar today said calling her the face of the NBA is dangerous or shouldn't be the face of the NBA. And I think I have to disagree with him because I don't think there's anything wrong if someone brings attention to a sport that was not getting attention for 20 years or more. And now, because I'm going to say it, she's a straight white female. People are upset. I just don't think that's right.
Yeah, it's just really interesting because like the comparison is like the way Michael Jordan elevated the NBA, but he also got to be in the NBA for like 7 years before he had to carry it all by himself, or not even carry it all by himself, but be the leader of the group,
face of the NBA.
Because he had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and some of these other Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to be the other guys. So. See, I just think the WNBA could do both, right? You can prop up Caitlin Clark and also prop up all the gals that are jealous of Caitlin Clark that think that they have better reputations or better legacies or whatever.
Yeah.
They could do both.
They could definitely do both. But they're beating the crap out of her on the court. So how do you prop someone up for that? You have to suspend them. This girl finally got a suspension, I think a 1-game suspension, but they weren't going to give her one. And they apparently don't want to show favoritism to Caitlin Clark because it upsets the other players. They're already upset.
They're already upset.
Like, they're not going to get any more mad unless they murder her.
Yeah, it's quite a saga for sure. I still don't know. I want to know what you guys think. 406-888-1029. Caitlin Clark has elevated the conversations around the WNBA unquestionably. We talk about it here quite often. I think that there's barstool conversations all across the country happening about it. But has it actually elevated the people watching it? That's what I want to know. The contract, the TV contract indicates yes. But have you been watching the WNBA? Let us know. 406-888-1029. What do you think of all of this drama? And has it actually elevated the engagement in it? I still don't know.
It's selling tickets.
It's definitely selling tickets.
I don't know if it's only...
They've moved several teams into bigger arenas.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say thank you, Caitlin.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the new collective bargaining agreement is basically making the league minimum more than what the league maximum used to be. So, that is objectively a big win. I mean, also, I think sometimes we get force-fed this part of it as well. It's not as if there isn't other stars. I mean, Asia Wilson has her own shoe now. Like there's an Asia Wilson shoe commercial that is out there, and like I don't think there's been a black woman that has had a shoe in the WNBA for like 30 years. I mean, she's on the list of the 100 most influential athletes in the world right now. Asia Wilson is. She's a multiple-time MVP, And I think that most people that know about sports know about her.
Even I know.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think that is indicative that it's not just a one-trick pony. It's not just one gal that's carrying the day, and maybe we just get exposed too much to Caitlin Clark and not enough to everybody else. Checking out some sports here on Nuanez Now July ESPN Radio. All right, what else you got?
Have you noticed in the World Cup, specifically the Brazilian players are wearing the men are wearing sports bras?
I've not noticed this.
So they're not sports bras.
Okay.
They look like sports bras. And actually, I think if they wore sports bras, they'd like it. But that's not my point.
What's the purpose of these things?
They are GPS vests.
Okay.
So what they do is they help teams understand the player's movement and what their output is.
Interesting.
And then it can help them with training and recovery. So a lot of them wear these GPS vests under their shirts, but then they take off their shirts at the end of the game and it looks like they're wearing sports bras.
Oh, so weird.
I thought it was like they were getting nipple rashes. But no, just GPS.
I heard this fascinating argument about the science of analytics through the lens of soccer, because they were talking about how like a lot of this data gathering and how far players run and what their exertion level is, and they could track like how like hard, how quote unquote hard a guy is going, and like what does that mean to then his contribution to success and winning. And this editorial was then about how that seems like such a direct correlation to if you have a guy that runs the most and the fastest and the hardest throughout a match, that would, if you have the most of those guys, you should be the best team.
Yeah.
The person that has the worst analytics in the history of soccer is Lionel Messi.
Really?
Because he walks around all the time. That's why he's so good.
Yeah, he gets that recovery.
Because then when he goes to sprint, he's faster than you and he's got more energy than you. He's the fastest player in the world. And then he's got the gas in his tank because he's so good at conserving it. So they were saying, okay, you can analyze all this cool data or whatever. And then they gave like the outlier of the guy who has the worst data in the world. Oh, by the way, he's the best player in the world. He's probably going to be the guy that's the best player on the World Cup champion. We'll see what Argentina does against Spain. But
it's that HIIT training. It's really good for your VO2 output, or I don't know.
Messi's got a lot of things going on for him for sure.
How old is he?
38. He's about to be 39.
And this is his last World Cup, right?
He has not officially announced that, but there's a perception that it is, yes.
Okay. Good for him.
But who knows? I mean, he's so small that it actually helps his longevity.
Right. It's not
like he could go along, small dogs live forever, big dogs die young. Like he could go a long ways because he's got so much less of a penchant for injury because he's like 5'5". So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But I would imagine that if Argentina wins, he will just.
Did you see the statue they made of him?
No. Is it good or not?
No.
Oh, man.
It's huge. And then it's like he's kneeling, and then they put the trophy kind of in front of him, but he looks like he's like putting the trophy up his butt. It's just a disaster. Look at it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then if you look at it from behind, it's just not good.
Man.
Yeah. That's not the trophy.
This is.
That's not the statue.
Okay,
no,
this is a sculpture. This guy has multiple statues. That shows you his influence in the world.
It's like.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that one. Look, doesn't it look like it's going up his butt?
Oh my gosh! Why? 85 feet tall. That's ironic.
And then look at his hand. Go back up.
Yeah, what is?
I mean,
why?
It's just not a good situation. Someone approved that.
Where is this statue? Oh, it's in Patagonia, in Argentina.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
weird.
Honestly, anytime someone makes a statue, it never looks good. So I would say no, thank you. If someone wanted to make a statue,
like the Dwayne Wade statue is so bad in Miami.
I mean, there's the Obama statue in Chicago. I mean, they always turn out bad.
Yeah.
It's just, don't do it. Just say no, thank you. How about a painting? I don't need a statue.
It's also weird that we were doing statues for living people now. It used to be like you had to be dead before you got a statue, or die in a war. And now we just do living. Like Dwayne Wade's 40. He's hardly even been retired and he's got a statue.
He's going to go back to Argentina and be like, oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check out those sports here on ESPN Radio. What else you got?
All right, moving on. Have you heard of, I'm going to mess up this name, Jan Kutch-Mock.
No.
He is a Sudanese Australian basketball player. He's 18. He is 7'6". How tall is Wemby?
He is listed at 7'4", but people say he's anywhere between 7'4" and 7'7".
Wemby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this man is 7'6". You need to Google him. It's spelled Jon.
Jon.
Kuch. Mock.
Okay.
This is compelling radio.
Yeah, it's
right
great
now.
radio.
But you need to look at a picture of him. Go to
18
images.
years old, 7'6". Oh my god.
Look at that picture. He looks like he is just he is so tall and skinny. He is like 3/4 legs. They said he can dunk without leaving the ground. He can just literally deke and put it in the basket.
Fascinating. There's also like an Egyptian guy that's like 7'10" or something like that.
So he's basically a hot prospect for the NBA. I don't know if he's any good. He needs to eat. He is so skinny, and he needs to put on some muscle.
Hamad Aburulrish is 7'9".
Oh my God!
He is projected to be in the NBA sooner than later as well. He also can dunk.
How's little Steph Curry gonna?
Steph's gonna retire.
Okay, because little Steph won't be able to. He'll have to like get picked up to put.
Well, all these guys are just gonna get hurt.
I know their problem. This guy Jon Kutch-Mock is going to get hurt. He's going to break in half.
I mean, look at the size of this guy. This guy is unbelievably tall.
Holy moly!
7'9".
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah,
That's just so big.
It would be awful.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough stuff.
It'd be tough. Once you get in the NBA making $50 million, it won't be as tough. But,
yeah, I know. I mean, you might as well.
So where is this Jon Kutch-Mock from?
He is from Australia.
Okay.
He's of Sudanese descent, but he lives in Australia.
Okay.
And he is like a big prospect.
I mean, I'm sure. Did he get like placed? Because this is the thing that's been happening. The NBA has now scouts that just scour Africa for
you were
these
telling me this.
Crazy tall people, and then they find them, and then they send them to like these academies.
He's at one of those academies,
either in Australia or America. And this has been a recent trend that's been pretty interesting to watch, because these guys are so raw at first, but then when they figure it out, it's like, holy cow.
He doesn't have to do much. He like literally has to walk 3 steps across the court, and then so I don't know. Maybe I don't know how many years. How long do they train at these academies?
That's a good question.
So,
generally until they're like ready to potentially maybe come play college basketball in America or professional. I don't know, but well, it's crazy that Wemby's going to have some peers.
Wemby did not play college. He came right out of high school, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably what will happen here.
Yep.
Maybe he'll go play for the Spurs and they'll just dominate.
That would be interesting. What if LeBron goes to the Spurs?
How tall is LeBron?
6'8".
It's wild to me to think that this person is basically a foot taller than LeBron.
A foot taller than LeBron.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keep your eyes out for him, and I hope he does okay and doesn't break a bone.
No, it's now 109 ESPN Radio. Carolyn Chick does no sports. All right, what else you got?
Okay, Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law.
Kay is older or younger than his girlfriend?
Oh, older. Everyone's older than his girlfriend.
Jeez.
I think all of his children are older than his girlfriend.
Oh, man, it's brutal.
She is facing an arrest order in North Carolina. She was speeding. She went 88 in a 70, which I don't think is that big of a deal. Just kidding.
Well, we live in Montana, so
I know.
Of course it's not.
And she just didn't go to court. And so now she has a warrant. Damn.
So it's like news that's out in the world?
Yeah, it was in the news today.
just a speeding ticket got her eye.
Now, this is the same daughter-in-law who went off on what's her name, Jordan.
Well, yeah.
Last year, saying I think they were at a party and she lost it on Bill Belichick's girlfriend. So I don't even know if they're chatting with Bill or what. I mean, is Bill still coaching football?
Oh yeah,
for
He's
North Carolina.
Been out of the news a little bit lately.
It's been pretty boring.
Yeah, well, it's rather refreshing, honestly. But
so next week they all go back to camp, so she'll be parading around.
I'm sure
the field. Scoping out the guys that are more age appropriate.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well,
still the head coach of North Carolina. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long that's going to last. I thought it wouldn't have lasted this long.
I didn't think, but whatever. Okay, moving on. Conor McGregor. He had that big fight last week.
Yeah, big UFC fight. that lasted like 5 minutes.
No, 69 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say nothing.
He tore his ACL. People think he's faking it. He made $15 million in 1 minute.
Man, Max Holloway was taunting him afterwards too.
Really?
It seemed like there was some indication that he was hurt though, because there's like several things that have like popped up.
Yeah, there were people saying that he was hurt going into it, and then that weird kick he did just took him down.
Yeah, like there's a video of him warming up, and you can see him like tweak it and wince a little bit, but they try to ignore it. There's also this video of Mel Gibson of all people telling.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Telling
knee.
who he's at the fight with he hurt his knee. We'll see how this goes before the fight has started.
Yes.
So.
And here's my guess is that he did hurt his knee, but if he canceled the fight, he wouldn't have made the money.
Sure.
So you show up.
Yeah.
You finish the whatever, and you make $15 million in 69 seconds.
It's not good because I think one of the things that's really hurt boxing. I mean, boxing was the most prominent sport in the world for a long time, and I think part of what hurt it was the question of validity, like are the judges rigging this? Are guys throwing fights? How much influence does gambling have? All that sort of stuff. The UFC has been immune to that by and large. And I think Conor McGregor was hurt. I mean, as somebody that's torn their knee, I can see like when somebody buckles it, and you could just tell he had no support. Like a lot of times ACL injuries don't actually hurt that bad. Your knee is just like all wobbly. And when he had a couple where he like threw a kick and then tried to step back and you could see it just buckle. So I think it's legit. I don't think he's that good of an actor to be able to like do that.
Yeah.
But for people to be questioning it is bad. That's bad for the sport. That there's people that are questioning one of the biggest stars in the sport potentially throwing a fight.
But everyone questions everything. So
true.
It's like there's always a conspiracy theory, and I love a conspiracy theory. But everything isn't a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, I agree. Not everything. I don't think this is.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not good for the sport, though, that there's even a question about that.
Well, and he's not very liked.
No, but that's good for the sport.
Yeah. Now, how old is he?
That's an excellent question, actually. Because he's been clowning around for a long time.
Clowning around. Rumor has it that the old Conor, like 10 years ago, would have fought through an ACL tear.
Interesting.
This is what people are smack talking.
38.
Oh. Yeah, I mean...
There's also this stuff about, like, that, he's had his well-chronicled personal problems. He's had his well-chronicled battle with alcohol. There's a lot of people who say that he's just not even as close to a good enough physical condition to do this.
Exactly. That's really what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, he's got plenty of money. At
least you hope he does.
That's true. Yeah,
but he's made plenty of money. I don't know if he has plenty of money.
That's true. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, but an ACL tear is not a fun sitch.
Yeah, so. I mean, the thing about prize fights too is that you piss off more people than any other sport when the fight doesn't live up to the billing because so many people paid to order that. I know it's not as much like that now that Paramount has the streaming rights, but you still have people that are buying Paramount app to get the streaming rights and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, most of the time, like when it's a pay-per-view thing, it makes the consumer even more mad when there's just a fight that doesn't live up to the billing, or it looks like somebody maybe dips out or doesn't go the distance.
That's what I don't understand. You still just get paid just to show up. That's crazy. Like even if you don't fight.
Yes.
Just as long as you show up.
Yep.
Kind of like that Mike Tyson fight a couple of years ago.
I mean, there's been multiple Tyson fights that were both real and fake.
Yeah.
That he just showed up for a paycheck.
Right.
I mean, Muhammad Ali, God rest his soul, he probably would have had some troubles with his brain and all the Parkinson's that ended up being the end for him. But he fought 3 fights after his prime was over that he did not need to fight other than for money, and that it ruined him.
Yeah.
Like when Larry Holmes beat him up in the early 80s, like that was one of the saddest things that anybody's ever seen in sports. Like Ali was totally cooked. He could not hang, and he just was just a rope-a-dope punching bag basically.
Remember when Mike Tyson fought that Logan Paul kid or whichever one, and like you thought he was going to win?
I still think that if he fought Logan Paul straight up, he would win.
No way.
Tyson threw that fight for sure.
Because he knew he couldn't win.
Oh, man.
And that's great. Good for him. He got
he's
paid.
Like 60. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, dude, this is not going to happen. Okay. Last story of the day.
All right. Check it out on Sports, ESPN Radio 102.9 FM, as well as SWX by TAD Television and the ESPN MT app.
This is going to make you even more disappointed in the NCAA than you already are.
Okay.
So Western.
I'm actually ambivalent about the NCAA now.
Okay, well, this might push you over the edge.
Okay.
Western Kentucky cut. I think he's a wide receiver. No, he's not a wide receiver. I don't know what he is. Victory Vaca. His mother died unexpectedly in April. And so he went home to deal with it and grieve and all, what goes with that. He took some time off. He gets I don't know if it's a call or a text or whatever from his strength coach and says, we'll see you back here in June. Sent him a workout. And on May 26th, he gets a text or a call from his coach, like the head coach or maybe his whatever coach, saying, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm not coming back till June." And then they cut him the next day. They cut him, but they called him a failure to report, which means he's ineligible to transfer.
Oh.
He was not he did not make it into the transfer portal.
Right.
And it sounds to me like a big miscommunication between all of them. Like, they knew his mom died. They knew he was grieving. They did not follow, in my mind. There's a whole bunch of articles on this that kind of go back and forth on the situation. The school has even tried to help him through the NCAA, and the NCAA is saying no. They're denying, like, an appeal. I think he's appealed twice.
Brutal.
He has one semester of college left.
Brutal. Well, I think he'll probably be able to stay in school, but can he afford it with no scholarship? I don't know. He will be able to get a hardship waiver. It's just a matter of how long does he want to fight it and push forward.
Yeah.
Like, the things that the NCAA has basically never denied hardship waivers for include military service, unexpected tragedy within your family, religious, like missions and things like that. Those things are the only things that can pause your clock, so they can renew the eligibility like that. But
I guess failure to report is a big issue. But my feeling is if they let Brandon Sorsby back after his stuff, they should let this poor kid finish school.
Totally.
Like, what the heck?
Totally. Well, it's like they used to say, Miami committed a recruiting violation, so Tennessee State's got to pay a fine. Like, that's how the NCAA has always rolled. In fact, that's Western Kentucky. Like, of course they're going to let Texas Tech's quarterback back. Western Kentucky, we'll punish you instead to act like we have some sort of say and any sort of authority in all of this.
The good news is this is getting a lot of press, like here. I mean, this worldwide show.
Yes.
And so hopefully he will get put on a team, and he has an agent and all that stuff. So hopefully he'll get placed on a team and someone who cares about his well-being. Poor guy.
Well, I hope so. Rooting on Victory Vaca, certainly. Keep you up to date with what's going on with that as well. But for now, that's it. Chicken Dozo Sports, probably presented by Hot House Yoga. You hit Hot House this week?
I did.
How was it?
It was great. I went to the early morning class on Tuesday.
Good job.
And then I'm going to do 8 a.m. on Friday, if anyone wants to come on down.
You got to get in. You got to sign up early now, though, because people are getting popular. The advertising's working, so the classes are getting filled up. But there's a lot of classes available. They're also doing the paddleboard yoga as well. So check out Hot House Yoga downtown Missoula. You can find them online. You can also find them on the Mind Body app, and we'll tell you about them each week here on the Chicken Doesn't Know Sports. Carolyn, thank you.
Thanks.
Life can change in an instant. If you've been hurt in an accident, suffered from medical negligence, or are facing criminal charges, you don't have to face it alone. At Ryan Miller & Coburn, we're here to listen and fight for you. We're your neighbors, traveling across Montana to stand by your side as your link to justice. Real people, real help, right here in Montana. Ryan Miller & Coburn, your Montana attorneys.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check at Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 times.
If we can't guarantee it, we won't sell it.
Life's about the journey, not the destination, right? Why can't it be about both?
Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
It's Nuanez Now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula. Watch the show statewide on SWX Montana Television.
Welcome back. 102.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to Nuanez Now. Appreciate you for hanging with us here on this Wednesday. Feels like Friday to me. Got the last weekend of my summer coming up. Then we're diving full into football mode. So looking forward to both. Looking forward to 3 full days of golf and also looking forward to going pedal to the metal. It's crazy how early it all starts now, right? Here's the thing. Fall camps start earlier, and it's not just because of the fervor around football or because they play week 0 games, but it's also because they don't do doubles anymore. Used to have double day or triple day practices. Well, you can only do that for a couple of weeks, else everybody would just die. Now, they certainly have some days where there's a couple practices, but they're not 2 padded full contact practices. And most of the time, you have meetings and install and walkthroughs and just one full-on practice. So it certainly, I know the old heads would say it's not nearly as tough as it used to be. I think it's still pretty tough. It's just a little bit more efficient now, but it's also just a lot more spread out. So Bobcats and Grizz both open camp, I think, on August 3rd. So we're right around the corner. Media Days is coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. So we're in it. We're in the thick of it. But there's still plenty of fun sports stuff coming right now that isn't football related. First of all, it's a Wing and Wednesday, probably presented by the Desperado Sports Tavern and Grill. We got wings for you from the best wing spot you're going to find anywhere in the Treasure State. Despo's a great place to kick it, have a beer, and the wings are what keep you coming back for more. We give you a chance to win a dozen wings from the Despo each and every Wednesday. Wing and Wednesday, every Wednesday here on Nuanez Now. You want some wings? 406-888-1029. Give us a text, let us know. 406-888-1029. Let us know that you want some wings, courtesy of the Despo. The Open Championship, more accurately known as the British Open, opens tomorrow at Royal Birkendale in England. And for the 15th major in a row, Scotty Scheffler is the betting favorite. He has at plus 675 odds. His Irish brethren, Rory Mac, I shouldn't say brethren. Scotty Scheffler is obviously American. He's from Texas. I guess his Irish rival, Rory McIlroy, is the second betting favorite at plus 725, and then Tommy Fleetwood comes in at number 3, plus 1,300. Matthew Fitzpatrick's the fourth betting favorite at plus 1,350. Then John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Chris Gotterup, Victor Hovland, then Ludwig Oberg, Robert McIntyre, and Cam Young round out the top 12. Other guys that maybe could make some noise, both because of their quality of play, but also because they are from that part of the world. Tyrell Hatton, he's at plus 2,900, so that puts him right around the top 20 of the betting favorites. Shane Lowry has also won a British Open before, and he is one of the best European golfers in the world today. Wyndham Clark, he's not from there, but he's the defending U.S. Open champion, so maybe that gives him some juice as well. But who knows? The British Open is so dependent on, I think, three things. Number one, the weather. Number two, just the course conditions that are influenced by the weather, but also if there's somebody that's from the UK that's familiar with that course. And then number three, if the guys that are playing the best in the world, can they adjust their game to play way more of a link-style golf game that is influenced by the elements, by the course conditions, by funky pin placements, by these bunkers that are 65 feet deep or whatever. I don't know if they're quite that deep, but there's some. It's that, and Royal Birkendale, I'm not sure if it's like that, but like St. Andrews or Carnoustie, some of those bunkers are devilish. They're crazy when you get stuck in there. That's what makes Scottie Scheffler at the same time like a metronome that is almost boring, but also the best player in the world, is that his game translates to all of the styles of golf. That's why he's been the favorite everywhere. He doesn't have to play a link style. But then you look at this betting favorites, Tommy Fleetwood and Matthew Fitzpatrick are both top 25 players in the world. But their games are way more suited towards a British Open style of golf, which makes them the third and fourth betting favorites, even though they're not better in almost any other world than John Rahm or Ludwig Oberg or Cam Young or Xander Schauffele. But because of their style, it elevates their competitiveness and their ability to maybe go out and win these tournaments. So I actually don't know. I don't have a pick for you on who I think is going to win. I think it's stupid to bet against Scottie at any point this year, or at any point just at this moment in time in the golf world. I don't know if I'm going to actually even bet winners. I'll probably sprinkle some top 10 bets as well as some top 20 bets. The guys that are plus odds to be top 10, I mean, I love Justin Rose at plus 230 to be a top 10 guy. He always plays well at this tournament. I've been talking about Chris Gotterup all week. I think he's coming. He's plus 230 to be in the top 10. I really like that. I think Morikawa, his controlled game, it caters to the British Open as well. He's at plus 230 to be top 10. I like that one as well. I mean, the British guys like Tyrell Hatton and Shane Lowry, I think, and Aaron Rai as well, who won the PGA Championship. I think all three of those guys are worth a sprinkle, maybe a quarter of a unit or a half unit to finish in the top 10, because they're all sitting there, like between plus 300 and plus 450. So I like those odds as well. So those are some of the guys I'm probably going to sprinkle a little bit on. But as always, a fun deal. And unfortunately, the last major of the year here. Wednesday, keep those texts coming in. If you want a dozen wings to the Desperado Sports Tavern and Grill, 406-888-1029. We're on the books, but before we go, if you're still playing clubs that don't fit your swing, you're leaving shots on the course, Last Best Golf Co. specializes in professional club fitting and custom-built golf clubs designed specifically for you. Whether you're looking for more distance, tighter dispersion, or greater consistency, the fitting process helps you get the most out of every swing. From drivers to putters, every club is built to your exact specs with precision and care. Stop guessing, start playing your best golf. Visit Last Best Golf Co. today at 517 South Orange Street and experience the difference a proper fit can make. From golf to baseball, Jeff Safford in the house on the other side. Don't change it down. Keep it right here. It's 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
Bring the whole family to the Stone of Accord for a wonderful brunch. From traditional comfort food to eclectic specials, there's something for everyone to enjoy. And it wouldn't be a proper Missoula brunch without an Irish coffee and a mimosa. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino. At the Stone of Accord, we use the freshest ingredients to create our homemade traditional Irish classics, fresh salads, and creative specials. Come enjoy our warm, family-friendly atmosphere. The Stone of Accord, Irish fare with Montana flair. Restaurant, liquor store, and casino.
In honor of our great nation's 250th anniversary, Mattress Firm is having its biggest 4th of July sale ever. The entire lineup of top-rated mattress brands are on sale with prices starting at $149 up to top-of-the-line mattresses with lifetime warranties. Get the sleep you deserve with payments starting at $39 a month. Mattress Firm has pillows, sheets, adjustable bases, all on sale too during their biggest 4th of July sale ever. Locally owned and nationally known Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm, where it's easy to get a great night's sleep.
Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. This is Nuanez Now on 102.9 ESPN Radio Missoula.
Some of our ESPN Roundtable is probably presented by Stockman Bank of Montana. Jeff Safford, voice of the Missoula Paddleheads, joining us. Usually he's chipping in on Diamond Time, but we are that time of year, the All-Star break and sort of the mid-season. The Paddleheads just dived into the second half of the Pioneer League slate. So we're going to give you an update on all things Pioneer League and all things Major League Baseball as well, as we're sort of at the proverbial midpoint. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You've been traversing all over the Pioneer League. How's things going? What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a fun season so far. I mean, the Pioneer League in years past, at least from Missoula's perspective, has featured a lot of games with chunks against the same opponents, and that really just hasn't been the case this season. I remember at one point last year that the Paddleheads home and home had a stretch of 12 straight games against the Billings Mustangs.
Right.
But this year, the Paddleheads started the year in California. They've been to Utah with the Ogden Raptors. Just saw the Glacier Range Riders in town from out in the Flathead Valley, but making their first trip to Missoula and only trip to Missoula. The Paddleheads will see Ogden later this season, back here in Zootown. Mentioned going to Utah earlier. They'll make their first trip to Idaho Falls next week. So it's been a good, mix-up of the league schedule this year.
Well, for those that have followed the Pioneer League for a long time, the Billings Mustangs, Great Falls just having a team. It used to be a different team than the Voyagers, but Great Falls having a team. Ogden, Idaho Falls, those are sort of the ones that have been around for a while, but the league, for those that haven't been following along, has expanded tremendously. So, in recent years, added everybody from Long Beach Coast to Modesto to Oakland. I think there's at least half a dozen new teams the last couple of years. How much do you think that's impacted the league? How much do you think it's changed it?
Oh, I definitely think you're seeing some of the impact, just seeing from specifically the West Coast teams, some of the big names that have been brought into the Pioneer League. Guys that folks in the baseball world are very familiar with. You want to look at who's leading the Long Beach Coast. He had been in Idaho Falls the last few years, but longtime closer, World Series champ Troy Percival, the manager for Long Beach, and also Modesto, kind of keeping a theme with Northern California. Former Gold Glove first base also took the Giants to the World Series. JT Snow is the manager out of Modesto. So when you have guys like that leading the dugouts, you got a lot of connections and you're able to draw in a lot of talent. And you look at both Modesto and Long Beach specifically, both over 500, good ball clubs, and Long Beach, they're one of the two teams that will be in the Pioneer League playoffs this season with success in the first half, with Billings being the other one. Those two teams just ran away with it in the first half in terms of overall record, way above 70% winning percentage. Just impressive what they were able to put together.
What do you think gives specific franchises advantages right now, like in the Pioneer League? Like, how do you get a leg up? Because we've seen for a couple years the Paddleheads were out in front of everybody, but now there's a whole bunch of teams that are pretty good. Like, what has been the thing that's caused that?
I think this season, if you want to look at specifically Billings and Long Beach, the two teams that are in the Pioneer League playoffs with their success from the first half, what do both of those teams have? A lot of experience. If you look at Billings' roster, it's a lot of guys that were on the roster a season ago or got their start with Billings right around this time of the season, maybe even a little bit later. Last year, coming out of college, maybe they played 15 or 30 games with the team, but they come back for a full season this year, and they blow it up. Charlie Muniz, an infielder for the Mustangs, he's a perfect example. He played with Billings, I think, in 30 games last year. This season, he's been one of the top hitters in the league in terms of top 5 in home runs, batting well over 300. And another guy that came back from last year, outfielder, I refer to him as the Green Monster or the Red Monster, thinking about him playing in Billings. Whenever he comes to the plate, it's always just like, uh-oh. My tone goes like this: A.J. Shaver. This guy is a monster for the Billings Mustangs. He's hitting close to 470 in 40-plus games.
It's crazy.
That's absurd.
Jeff Savage joined us in studio, Nuanez Now, 102.9 ESPN Radio. That's been the other part that's been stunning to me, is that the Paddleheads have hit the ball like no baseball team I've really seen over the last handful of years consistently. And they've had multiple guys that were flirting with, if not over 400. They've had multiple guys that are setting and resetting the Pioneer League single-season home run records. They're not the only ones anymore, though, and they've gotten a little bit of a taste of their own medicine a couple times this year as well. I mean, there's the one game where Billings hit, 9 home runs? And I mean, you're like, I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, how many long balls can there be in one single game, man?
I mean, in that game, I mean, specifically talking about 9 home runs, it broke a Billings Mustangs franchise record. And we're talking about a franchise that's been around for well over 50 years.
Totally.
So, I mean, it's not like a small sample size. So that's impressive to be able to put a run like that together. And in terms of why I think we're seeing some of these huge offensive numbers, I think a lot of teams have just been caught with a lot of the Paddleheads. You look at their pitching staff, a great example, a lot of players just cutting their teeth into professional baseball. I mean, Josh Johnson, rookie reliever just brought in this season, rookie, fresh out of college. He literally graduated from Santa Clara, packed up his car after walking across the stage, and drove to Missoula to start his pro career. I think a lot of these guys that have just been brought in this season are just taking their lumps as rookies. They just don't know how to handle pro ball. They don't know how to handle the grind of a 96-game season, and it's kind of trial by fire. And from the Paddleheads' perspective, they hope that they can figure it out here in the second half.
Well, it seems like the hitting is ahead of the pitching too, right? And it seems like there's more veteran position players, like guys that have played some pro ball that land in the Pioneer League.
Yes.
The corners positions especially, but like a lot of different spots compared to pitching. Why do you think that is?
I think from where the Pioneer League is in terms of having position players and pitchers, it's a lot easier for position players to find years of eligibility. Remember, the Pioneer League does have age and years of experience limits. Where it is for pitchers right now, it's definitely tighter, where they have a spot where it's a lot easier for guys to use up a certain year of eligibility, where a position player, you can play in 40-plus games and have it not count as a year's eligibility. So I think you're seeing a lot more experience with position players, and for the pitchers, it's a lot harder to have guys that say, have 2-3 years of affiliated baseball experience and not go past that experience limit. And I think, honestly, that that's something that the league should look at. I think they should expand it out just a little bit more so that guys with a little bit more of experience can come into the league and really they can show some of these rookie guys how to go about it. They can be that kind of guy that can lead some of these rookies along, so to speak.
Stockman Bank has more than 40 locations throughout the state of Montana. In Montana, only in Montana, and they plan on keeping it that way. Let Stockman Bank show you Montana's brand of banking. Stockman Bank proud to present the ESPN Roundtable each Wednesday during the 5 o'clock hour, right here on Nuanez Now, as well as each Thursday during the noon hour on 102.9 FM ESPN Radio. So Paddleheads were up and down in the first half. 24-22 is what they finished the first half at, but they did win 4 in a row down the stretch. And I think they had won 7 or 8 out of their last 10 to come into this break. And off to a good start. Only one game on the docket so far, but they're 1-0 in the second half, and they have a chance to sort of gain some traction. So what has caused them to play so well here this last half a month or so, and how do they sort of carry that momentum forward?
Well, I think you've definitely seen, we've been talking a lot about offense, but I think a big part of the reason why Missoula has turned it around in recent games has been the starting rotation. It's definitely started to solidify itself, and we've been starting to see a lot more quality outings from Paddlehead pitchers. And a lot of times it hasn't been these sort of outings where it's 7 or 8 innings and 1 run allowed, like we've seen from Reese Fields or Tom Reisinger in recent weeks, 2 of Missoula's better starters. But Jaron Jackson, left-hander out of University of New Mexico, last night, he went 5+ innings, allowed 4 runs, got his team into the 6th with the lead. In the Pioneer League, in an offensive-driven league like this, if you can get an outing like that, more times than not, when your offense is able to swing it on the flip side, that puts you in a great position. So from Missoula's perspective, if they can consistently get outings like that around an offense that really is performing well in recent weeks, another thing that's really been a key to it, there's been a key couple of position player ads for Michael Schlack in the last 15 games or so that have really played dividends. They brought in Sergio Gutierrez, a catcher out of Venezuela, links to the D-backs system, made it as high as AAA. He's been a great kind of stabilizing force behind the plate, a real experienced guy, able to work with the rotation, and then mixing it with rookies like Bryce Sermonelli. This cat from Missouri State can just flat swing it, and he's not so much a guy that's going to blow you away with hitting 450-foot bombs, but just gap to gap. He just knows how to hit. In his first 15 games, he's got 12 doubles.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Love the guys that hit the doubles, man. I think still to this day one of the most impressive single seasons. I think it was the first time it had happened in like 70 years was when Albert Bell hit 50 home runs and 50 doubles in a year. That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Not a lot of the home run guys are getting the doubles because usually they're early or late hitting like the sharp singles or the bombs to actually be able to go gap to gap and also hit it over the fence. That's an impressive one. So I love the guys that are doubles. So, anything else to add on the Paddleheads before we move on to some Major League Baseball talk here as we're at the All-Star break?
It should be a lot of fun getting the second half rolling. The Glacier Range Riders in town, that's been a team that's had thoughts of the postseason the last few years. Glacier and Missoula both in the same category, still trying to pave their way towards a potential postseason berth with success in the second half. So I think this is a fitting, great way to start the second half of the season. Fun way to check out Paddlehead Baseball as well. We'll be home throughout the week. Have a fun couple of games coming up on Friday and Saturday, too. They have a fireworks show Saturday night and with margaritas. Folks like
Very
margaritas.
nice.
Oh, yeah. Check that out. And then some specialty jerseys on Friday benefiting a great cause. So have a lot of fun at the ballpark. Come check it out.
Hey, we got to ask you that part because you've been to some newer ballparks now recently, too. Any of them that stuck out or any of them that you've had some good eats at before the game?
Oh, yeah. You know me, Coulter. Come on.
Jeff's always sampling the fine cuisine. That's why I got to ask him for his recs always.
Yeah, there's been some of the spots we've been to before, like Ogden is always one of the better road trips. Just the setup with Lindquist Field, it's right downtown Ogden. You're looking up out the Wasatch Range. You got downtown eateries right there. A lot of great spots. O-Town Eats, that's a pretty new joint.
Yeah, good.
It's kind of a chef-driven kind of breakfast joint. Yep, they got the fresh eggs and all the organic eats. I know you as going out and checking out Ogden because of Weber State. That might be a good one for you. But Oakland, Oakland was a lot of fun.
I bet.
I mean, the hotel there is right smack dab downtown Oakland, and I've said this before on Paddlehead broadcasts. They could not be more Bay Area there. I mean, when you go to an Oakland Baller game, you're hearing hyphy, hip-hop. I mean, Too Short even wrote a pop-up track or a pump-up track for the Ballers that they play before the game. Their mascot is a possum. It's a rally possum. I mean, they got food trucks slinging Asian food and Mexican eats, and it's just a whole vibe down there. I mean, one of the games, the glove was there, Gary Payton throwing out a first pitch. I mean, it was just awesome.
That's very cool, and really, the league has become so diverse because it used to just sort of be like the teams in Montana and then your little inner Rocky Mountain friends, and then now you got everything from Boise to Long Beach to Oakland and everybody in between. So pretty cool. It's been fun to watch it all expand. Jeff Safford joining us here. Nuanez Now 102.9 ESPN Radio. So how about some Major League Baseball? We're at the midpoint. I watched a good amount of Padres Blue Jays. This was just completely random because that's what my wife's grandmother had on at the house when we were out there on Sunday. She loves watching baseball. And so I hadn't really checked out either of those teams, but watched the whole deal. And I'm watching both these teams. I'm like, man, these teams are both good. They got good recognizable names, and then I see the records at the end, and they're both 500. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, both of those have to be disappointments. But to you, who do you think is the biggest disappointment so far here in the first half of Major League Baseball?
Well, I mean, I think that probably the easiest choice would be the team with the worst record with the highest payroll, and that's got to be the New York Mets.
I mean, crazy.
They have just been a complete disaster over there.
Third worst record in the bigs. But that is ahead of the Angels, who are completely and utterly irrelevant, which is just a sin anyways. And the Royals, who are a small market team, and they go through these cycles where they have good young players, they're good, and when they don't, they don't. And their bullpen is terrible this year, and so they're kind of just stuck in the basement. Yeah, to have people in first, you got to have people in last as well. But when you look at the teams that are as bad or worse than the Mets, the Rockies have been in a rebuild forever, and who knows what the heck their plan is. I don't know. The Royals, again, small market, not big budget. They don't have the money to go pay players, so they kind of just have to rely on when they got good young talent. The Angels are completely irrelevant. Mets got no excuse, man. The Mets have good players. They have a huge payroll. They're in the biggest city in the country, and they are in dead last place, 16 games behind the Atlanta Braves.
And it's not like it's a spot where the Mets are like the third page news either.
No.
They're playing outside of New York City.
Right.
So, and they have a rabid fan base. I mean, we've seen and heard all the stuff on social media from Mets fans and hear the boos from the crowd and everything else. The sell the team chants, everything. It's just stacked against them, and they just can't get it turned around.
Who do you think has been the biggest surprise of the first half?
Well, I think Atlanta has been up there. I mean, I think they have a lot. They had some talented players, but I don't think anybody expected them to be as good as what they've been. But we got to give our boss Becky some love, right? Oh, sure. The Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers been great.
They've
Lights
been
out.
outstanding.
They've been awesome.
And I don't think anybody expected them to be in first place at this point, especially leading a team like the Chicago Cubs, again with a huge payroll, by as many games as they are. I think 5 or 6 games up now.
Well, and that's the thing. That there's the duality of it, too, because not only do the Brewers have the second-best record in baseball, just a game and a half behind the Dodgers, but they're also leading what arguably is the most competitive division in baseball. I mean, everybody but the Pirates, or excuse me, everybody but the Reds in the Central are good. And even the Reds are fine. Like, they're okay. So
yeah, to me, they're even underperforming a little bit from where I expected them to be. I expected them to kind of be one of those squads to be hovering around a wild card spot.
No doubt. But, I mean, this time of year, having 50, if you have 50 wins right now, you're pretty good. And if you have anywhere between 55 and 60 wins, you're one of the best teams in baseball. Everybody in the NL Central has 50 wins except the Reds. So, the Brewers to be winning that division handily, and the Cubs are, they're one of the National League favorites coming into the year. So the Brewers have done a good job of navigating that one. Braves don't surprise me that much just because they did have sort of the cornerstones to build around, and they've been able to build it back up. And more often than not, the Braves have been good. it's a good organization. Right. They know what they're doing. To me, the biggest surprise is the Chi Sox. This is the Chicago White Sox because they were just they were god awful, and now here they are in first place. I think that's a product of them being better, but also you have to say that the whole rest of that division has been sort of disappointing. I mean, Cleveland and Minnesota are both expected to be pretty good, and they're in the mix certainly with the Chi Sox, but the Chi Sox are the ones that are overachieving, and Guardians and Twins are the ones that aren't.
And really, that's, to me, the story of the entire American League, right?
Yes, totally.
I mean, you want to talk about disappointing. Just look at the AL West. I mean, the teams that are playoff teams right now in the wild card spots are below 500.
It's crazy.
Thinking about the Seattle Mariners, and, I mean, leading the division, the Rangers at 49 and 47.
It's crazy.
Like, jeez.
Yeah, Mariners, Astros both have been vastly disappointing so far this year. And you're right, the American League in general, I mean, besides the Rays and the Yankees, and probably the White Sox, Guardians are coming a little bit. But other than that, most of the teams have not lived up to their billing. I mean, Boston has been sort of a train wreck. That they've been going a little bit better lately. They've won 9 in a row, but they were bad the first couple months of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of with the Boston Red Sox, with them going on this recent run of, starting to see the memes of like the Undertaker popping out of the casket sort of thing, like all of a sudden, no, they're coming back from the dead, so maybe they'll be able to make a run. But if you want to look at a team in the AL that's still, I looked at them as a favorite going in and still do. To me, it's the Yankees sitting there at 54 and 42. What's been the story with them throughout the season? It's been just a multitude of injuries. Seeing guys like Rendon, Garrett Cole, now the Aaron Judge, the captain, all on the shelf over certain periods of time. But they've had good young guys like Ben Rice, who's been fantastic this year. Saw him in the home run derby. Wasn't that a cool deal with him the other night, his dad throwing the home run derby to him? I mean, that's such a fun thing to watch. But 29 bombs, he's been great this year. When New York gets everybody back healthy, that team is a monster. I mean, they've got it all. They've got the power.
They do.
They got guys that can hit for average, and they've got a great starting pitching staff. So for me, that's the team out of the AL, for sure.
Jeff Safford, Coulter Nuanez, ESPN Roundtable, probably presented by Stockman Bank of Montana. You're listening to Nuanez Now, 102.9 ESPN Radio. The first place for all the divisions, Tampa Bay has a 3-game lead on New York right now in the American League East. Chicago and Cleveland are tied in the AL Central. They are each 3 games clear of the Twins. The Rangers have a 1.5-game lead on the sub-500 Mariners, which that is just vastly, wildly disappointing. Usually the Mariners wait until August or September to break everybody's hearts, and maybe they won't even be heartbreak this year. We'll see. They might go like 81-81 and win the division somehow. But Texas leading the AL West with the Mariners and Astros play in chase. In the National League, in the East, the Braves have a 2-game lead over the Phillies and a 4-game lead on Miami. Milwaukee's got a 5-game lead on Chicago in the Central, and then the Los Angeles Dodgers running away with the National League West. They have an 11.5-game lead on Arizona, 12.5-game lead on San Diego, and the Giants almost 20 full games back.
Yikes.
In that division. Have the Dodgers lived up to the billing? I mean, they're the defending World Series champions. They're spending $10 trillion on their roster.
Yeah, right.
It's one of those. It's like this weird storyline where, at the same time, they have one of the greatest players ever in Shohei Ohtani, but he's been so great for 5 years now that we are almost like numb to it. We just expect it to happen. And then
I don't think I expected anything like what we've seen from him this year on the mound. I mean, I don't care what he's done in the past. I mean, the run he's put together with the sub 1.5 ERA and 10 starts while also doing what he does at the plate. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's totally crazy. That's all to say, though. The other side of the Dodgers story, though, is that, like, if you're not a Dodgers fan, you hate them. No matter who you're a fan of, everybody's rooting against them. They're like the Death Star of Major League Baseball. And, again, unless you're a fan, everybody wants to slight them. It's like giving credit to them because it's just everybody just sort of says, well, you bought the whole all-star team. You guys better have the best record in baseball. So how do you sort of digest the Dodgers? Like, how do you give credit where credit's due, despite maybe all of us agreeing that it's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world for the parody of baseball?
The biggest thing for me with the Dodgers that's been true with them over the years under Dave Roberts is I'm not sure what it is, but there's just some way that they're able to put pressure on their opponents when you get into these late inning spots. It just doesn't feel like that doesn't matter what the score is. If you're going into the 7th or later, it could be trailing by 5, it could be trailing by 1. You just have this feeling in the back of your brain that the Dodgers are coming, that they're going to put some at-bats together and no lead is safe. And these guys just have a way of putting at-bats together and putting pressure on their opponents, whether it be working counts or finding the long ball, what have you. They just have ways of just grinding out end-of-game scenarios and finding ways to win. And that's a cultural thing. You want to compare them to the flip side of it. It's not like the Mets aren't paying plenty for their roster, but they're finding ways to lose games, where the Dodgers are finding ways to win them in the end, if that makes sense. It may sound kind of rudimentary, but I think a lot of it is what they've been able to build from a culture standpoint to be this just monster that nobody can beat.
What do you think the sustainability is of the Shohei Ohtani phenomenon? Is he going to have to make a choice soon?
Man, you have to think at some point, yes.
They put him on the bump a little bit less than in previous years, right? What'd you say? He's got 10 starts, is that right?
Somewhere in between. He had that, I was alluding to the run of 10 starts.
The run of 10 starts. Sure. Okay. But I just wonder, at what point does he just make the choice to concentrate on being a hitter? Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely some creative things that they maybe could think about doing with his pitching role to maybe limit the work he has. Maybe you think about him more as like a middle inning guy. Maybe he becomes a pitcher that comes in. Like from Missoula's perspective, it seems a little funny to compare Shohei Ohtani to a paddlehead. Sure. But thinking about the middle inning guy, Mark Timmons, who comes in from innings 4 through 6 and gets you 2 or 3 innings, and he maybe pitches twice a week. Maybe that's what they do with Shohei, where they can be creative. Okay, when he comes in to pitch, we can use him in the order this way as the DH and rigmarole it, so he can get his ABs and also pitch on the bump for a few innings. So it'll be interesting to see. And a lot of it, I'm sure, will be how he feels and how his body reacts to the work that he gets.
14 starts so far for Shohei Ohtani, which actually equals his total amount of games started from a year ago. He's 8-2 with a 1.79 ERA, 95 strikeouts in 85 innings.
How many walks?
Only 26 walks.
Yeah.
So, his K to walk ratio is 3.7, and he's got he's averaging about almost 11 Ks per 9 innings. So that's pretty darn good. And then you turn around and he's having a real rough year at the plate compared to what he's used to. He's only hitting 293 after hitting 300 for 3 years in a row, and he's got 22 bombs, 58 RBI. So not quite on pace. He went 50 home runs back-to-back years, 54 and 55 in consecutive seasons, but he is on pace to go over 100 RBI for the 4th time in his career.
And it's not out of the question. He could get on a roll and get over 50 again,
no doubt.
Sitting where he is.
No doubt. 22 is a fine number for the first half, no question. So 40 is absolutely in the cards, and 50 might be in the mix as well. So do you feel like he's the MVP front runner again?
He definitely has to be up there.
Has to be, right?
And the thing with the Dodgers, too, it's wild, is you alluded to some of the guys that they paid for to bring in. What happens if some of the guys that aren't performing actually turn it on, specifically pointing at Kyle Tucker? He has not played well. I think batting average-wise between 240 and 260 just hasn't been a great addition to this point, but we've seen how good he can be with both Houston and Chicago, a guy that can give you 30, 40-plus home run sort of seasons. So if he turns it on, along with everybody else in that lineup, it's like, well, good luck.
Jeff Stafford, Colter Nuanez, talking all things baseball here for our ESPN Roundtables. We're in the All-Star break for Major League Baseball, and the Paddleheads diving into the second half of their season. Stay tuned. We'll have some Paddleheads tickets for you here later today and later on this week as well. Here's an update on who's leading what in the majors right now at the midpoint. Otto Lopez of the Miami Marlins is the top hitter in the National League. He's hitting .334. That's about 4 points higher than Luis Arias from San Francisco. Yandy Diaz from the Tampa Bay Rays leading the American League in hitting at .322. Kyle Schwarber leads all of baseball in home runs with 32, but Yordan Alvarez from Houston Astros right behind him at 31. So those are your respective league leaders there. Ben Rice, a huge year for the New York Yankees so far, 29 bombs for him as well. The Miz, I got to ask you about the Miz. We talked about him a little while ago. I think the last time you were on, but
yeah,
it's not just a flash in the pan. People were wondering what was the sustainability of it? Like, is he the next Strasburg or is he the next Randy Johnson? Like, we didn't know which one. Looks like probably the latter. We'll see. I mean, Randy Johnson had a phenomenal career that lasted a really long time. But Mizorowski, if you haven't followed this guy, he's the ace for the Milwaukee Brewers. And he has thrown, I think, the 12 fastest pitches ever thrown by a Major League Baseball starter. I mean, he's touching 104, 105 on the gun. He is tall, lean, and lanky. He's funny looking, and he just throws absolute gas. A couple of the highlights I found on YouTube, it's so funny at the beginning, like the first inning. The guys are just like looking at it. It's like the movie Major League. You're like, is that real? That's how fast it goes. You can't even track the ball. So that's been a crazy phenomenon. But what have you thought of his? Not just the phenomenon that is the Miz, but also just the fact that he's been able to sustain it.
I think it's really a fun deal. I mean, you look at what Major League Baseball has been missing for a chunk of time. It's been some of these kind of guys to kind of rally around and to build on from a character standpoint. And what better guy to build a story around than a guy that can throw triple digits plus? I mean, I remember last week I was rolling along in Boise with the Paddleheads on a road trip, and somebody on the bus said that Mizorowski threw a pitch 107 miles an hour and broke a record. It wasn't true, but we all bought it.
You all believed it.
You know, I mean, so that just tells you.
Finch, right?
You know, that just tells you. It's like, oh yeah, he threw 107. Yeah, just like, okay, we just expect him to be able to do something like that. I mean, and it also creates like what we saw from a PR standpoint from Major League Baseball games, like what we saw on Sunday. You know, midday. What was the matchup? It was Mizorowski and Paul Skeens. I mean, how much better he can get from that standpoint? I mean, you like to see 100 miles an hour, that's a great game to turn on. And just seeing these guys that can just throw velo right now, it's just really cool to see in Major League Baseball. And I think it's creating a lot of cool interest in the game. And also combined with this on the flip side of it, the home run derby, that was just phenomenal.
Speaking of that, other league leaders right now at the midpoint of Major League Baseball include Jordan Walker from the St. Louis Cardinals, who has 74 RBI. That leads the NL. Yordan Alvarez leads the American League with 70 RBI so far. But Walker, what a performance last night. What did he hit, 11 straight to walk it off and win the home run derby?
Yeah, I mean, watching him just put that together, I mean, it was such a dramatic setting. I was thinking, oh man, are we going to see the swing off again? The swing off was kind of a thing, actually, that was tried for the first time in the Pioneer League during one of their home run derby night competitions.
Right.
They broke it out, and then we saw it last year in the MLB All-Star Game. That was cool. Almost saw it again this year, but see him hit bomb after bomb, especially as him playing that kind of villain role. I mean, the fans in Philadelphia were so funny, right? I mean, the rooting on Schwarber and also Bryce Harper. They were both in the derby. You're just hearing the cheers for the Phillies, and every time other opposing guy steps up there, they're booing. And I mean, the whole setup was just so much fun to watch. And to see a young guy like Jordan Walker get his big moment on the big stage, I mean, I'm sure guys like Robert Chase, the big Cardinals fans, knows all about that guy, but the casual sports fan, maybe that was his first time seeing him. And he goes out and just hits all those home runs and puts on this gigantic show. Everybody knows who he is now.
Yeah, it's a very cool moment for him, and just for the dynamic of the resurrection of the Cardinals. I never thought we'd be in that spot because the Cardinals were so good, so steady for so many years, and then they took a dip. But now they're back in contention for the National League Central, and Jordan Walker is certainly a big part of it. Okay, last thing. Any bold predictions you got coming down the stretch here? Is there anybody you think has a chance to really surge here? I know you mentioned the Yankees. Yeah, I think it's hard to say that a team with that amount of talent is some sort of surprise or a bold prediction, but I do think if they can get everybody rolling, they have a chance to be very, very good. I'm so interested to see if the Brewers can hold off that talented division. And I mean, the storyline that I'm watching the most is Seattle. Like, what are they going to do? All right, which way are they going to go? They have talent. They were in the playoffs a year ago. Can they recapture it, find any sort of stride, or are they going to sit here and just go one up, one down, one up, one down? I mean, you look at their last 30, they're like 15 or 15. It's crazy. They just go one up, one down, just hovering there at 500 forever. What other storylines or maybe things to watch do you have in the second half?
Well, I think a big thing will be the trade deadline stuff.
Coming
up. There are a number of big fish out there that are going to be probably rental sort of guys, but big name players. I mean, we're talking Scooble sort of names from Detroit. I mean, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner the last 2 seasons. His contract is up after this year. He's expected to sign a massive deal. But thinking about the Brewers, do they think about running it back?
Right.
I mean, remember, this was when? 2010? Around there somewhere? They brought in a rental from, at that time, the Indians, the Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
They brought him in for a summer. I think he made 12 starts and was they just hooked up the team to his back. CC Sabathia.
Yep, the big horse.
And then he went right to the Yankees, signing that massive deal. Do the Brewers do something like that? Do they bring in a Scooble? They got Lance McCullers today, a lefty World Series champ from the Houston Astros in a trade. I mean, he's been injury prone, but he's got a lot of experience, and a guy, if he is healthy, can definitely help your rotation. Do they make a move like that to really try to push their way towards a ring? That, to me, will be interesting. Then you have names like Boston, you have the flamethrower, Aroldis Chapman.
Of course.
A lot of talk about him potentially going somewhere. He's been having great success the last year plus. You alluded to Luis Ariz, an all-star, one of the top hitters in Major League Baseball. The Giants have been a complete disaster. I would imagine there's a good chance he's traded somewhere. Those are just a few big names to follow, and it'll be real cool and fun to watch where some of these big fish go and how it affects the playoff push.
Man, the CC Sabathia trade just brought up bad memories for me, man. Here's the deal. I was a Cleveland Indians fan forever, and the things that caused I still follow him a little bit, but I just keep gravitating towards being a Mariners fan. Even though my two of my buddies that follow this, they're like, "Do not do it. Don't do it. It's bad juju. Don't do it. It's too brutal." But it was the Sabathia trade, the Cliff Lee trade when they traded him to Philly, the Kluber trade, and then the Francisco Lindor trade. And the fact that they traded that they had premier guys and they traded all of them in the name of what, right? It's just so frustrating because Cleveland they were not a small market team, and now they are. And it's so weird to me why they have a great venue. It's one of the coolest fields in all of baseball. They have passionate fan base. I just don't understand why they stopped.
It's a lot like Pittsburgh to me,
That's right.
too.
That's right.
I mean, they're in a large market. I mean, the Steelers in football, they've been one of the top franchises in the NFL for years. They have great fans. Their ballpark is thought of as one of the most beautiful in all of baseball.
No question.
Right on the riverbed there, or riverfront, and I mean, there's a lot of things pointing in the right direction, but they just don't spend any money.
It's crazy, man. It's such a defining factor in baseball. Jeff Safford here on a baseball-centric ESPN Roundtable. Presented by Stockman Bank of Montana. Stockman Bank in Montana, only in Montana, and they plan on keeping it that way. Let Stockman Bank show you Montana's brand of banking. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good to see you, and hope to see some folks out at the Yard this week at Allegiance Field. Come see me. Why not?
Why not? We'll have Paladins tickets for you coming up on the other side as well. Don't change that dial. Keep it right here. It's 129 ESPN Radio.
Is a will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
ESPN Missoula Sports Center.
The fields are set for the second annual Montana 100-meter races, with the state's fastest male and female sprinters ready to compete as part of the 41st annual Big Sky State Games opening ceremonies on Friday at Lockwood High School in Billings. Hello, I am Hayden Smith. The second running of the Montana 100 meters will take place Friday night, just before the Montana Mile. Last year, Shepherd's Kaimia Dalkey and Butte Zach Mayerfield became the inaugural champions, setting the first ever Montana 100-meter records. Dalkey won the women's race in 12.54 seconds, while Mayerfield captured the men's title in 11.1 seconds. Even faster times are expected this year, and new champions will be crowned, with neither Dalkey nor Mayerfield returning to defend their titles. One of the favorites in the women's race is recent Billings graduate Emery Peel, who shattered the all-time state class record in the 100 meters at the Class AA State Track and Field Championships in May. Peel also claimed state titles in both the 100 and 200 meters. The men's field features several of the Montana's top sprinters, including future Montana Grizzly football player Dawson Hammond, a recent Malta graduate, and Braden Zickman, who will be a senior at Manhattan this fall. Also competing is Garrett Buck Prather, who will be a junior at Columbus after sweeping the sprint events at the Class B State Track and Field Championships and narrowly missing the all-time Class State record in the 200 meters.
This ESPN Missoula Sports Center is presented by Canyon River Golf Club. Nuanez Now on ESPN Radio.
Always fun talking baseball with my man Jeff Safford. Appreciate him for swinging down to the studio. Height of summer, MLB All-Star break, so we gave you some of the ins and outs. On that note, we're going to keep on talking some baseball with a Diamond Time, which we do a couple times a week here on Nuanez Now. Appreciate you for hanging out with us here on this Wednesday, which feels like a Friday to me, because we're off the next 2 days, and then we're full-fledged into football season. Diamond Time probably presented by DeMorris Automotive. DeMorris Automotive been family-owned in Missoula since 1958. DeMorris Automotive at 3115 West Broadway, proud to offer Buick GMC and Mercedes-Benz. We got free stuff for you, including Paddleheads tickets and gift cards to DBAT. DBAT is a baseball and softball academy that is the premier batting cage facility in the Garden City. It's located on Burlington Avenue. No matter what level of diamond sport player you are, everything from a high school softball player to a slow pitch beer league dad, DBAT's got something for you. They got a cage for you. They also got all sorts of gear, etc. in their pro shop. We got swing cards for you. We'll give you 75 swings, plus Paddleheads tickets. So if you're a baseball enthusiast, give us a text right now, 406-888-1029. You can also call us, 406-888-1029. Call or text. And let us know what you're thinking about. I was really analyzing, what is the best story in Major League Baseball right now? And Ohtani continues, Shohei Ohtani, it continues to be, has to be one of them, right? He's won 4 out of the last 5 MVPs. He's probably the inside track to win another one. As Safford mentioned, I think the Brewers, just being a truly dominant team, winning one of the best divisions in baseball by a full 5 games, and also be in a position to maybe make a move. Do they make a move and get a guy and try to really go after it and win the pennant? We'll see. But you have to talk about the Chicago White Sox. I mean, the Chicago White Sox lost 122 games last year. I know that's a franchise record. I believe it's a Major League Baseball record. If it's not, it's close. I mean, they were an abomination. They were an insult to the game. And now here they are in first place. They're tied for first with the Cleveland Guardians, but they're in first place nonetheless. Pretty impressive, the turnaround they've been able to make. It's really good to have that in a big market. Diamond time. Here on Nuanez Now, proud presented by DeMorris Automotive, family-owned in Missoula since 1958. DeMorris Automotive at 3115 West Broadway, proud to offer Buick, GMC, and Mercedes-Benz. It's also proudly presented by DBAT. You want swing cards and paddleheads tickets, hit us up, 406-888-1029. One more break, back on the other side. Don't change that dial. Keep it right here. CSPN Radio.
Is a will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.
Nuanez Now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula. Watch the show statewide on SWX Montana Television.
Nuanez Now. Just jamming. Loving it. Good playlist today, Hayden. Appreciate you for hanging with us. Hope you're having a great week. We've been having some short weeks because of the way that summer goes, and I always get excited and sad at the exact same time with how fast time flies during the Montana summer. I mean, I've had an event every weekend, from the E.B. Craney Awards to a funeral to the Montana Pro Football Hall of Fame to the 4th of July to a wedding last weekend. This weekend got a big golf tournament, and the next weekend it's Big Sky Media Days, and boom, now we're into football. So great time of year. Hopefully you're soaking up the sun, soaking up the good times, and enjoying yourself. And being present in the moment, we really appreciate you for kicking it with us any and every time that you do hang out with us here on Nuanez Now. If you missed anything in the show today, we talked some World Cup after Argentina's thrilling comeback 2-1 victory over England to secure a spot in the World Cup title game against Spain. That should be a doozy. We also heard from Carol, the chick who doesn't know sports. We talked some British Open and some of my picks to have favorable weekends. And that was all just in hour number one. In hour number two, you can find plenty of baseball talk with myself and Jeff Safford, as well as then myself. And all of it on the podcast, so please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks to our great friends at Grizzly Disposal for being the continued sponsor of the ESPN MT Studio. We are doing a ton of stuff here now at ESPN. We got some very exciting announcements coming up here in the next couple, the next month or so as well. So excited to share that, and we certainly couldn't do it without Grizzly Disposal. They are involved around the Missoula and Western Montana community at a high level. They give back to various organizations like Chicks and Chaps, which goes towards cancer research, the Grizzly Scholarship Association, youth sports, and much more. Grizzly Disposal is locally owned and veteran-owned, and the only bears that should be in your garbage. I made the proclamation that Lionel Messi is marching toward perhaps becoming the greatest football player, greatest soccer player of all time. If he can win the World Cup, if he and Argentina can win the World Cup in a match on Sunday against Spain. Well, I really wanted to, I hate saying stuff like that when I'm not exactly sure, right? Like you think you know, but then you're shooting off the cuff, and then then you get texts from the listeners. You're like, what about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? So I did some research, and based on just a couple of like the key metrics, right? I'd say the key metrics are, in no particular order, World Cup performances, World Cup records, and World Cup championships. The Ballon d'Or, which is given to the best soccer player in the world each year. It's like the MVP of football on planet Earth. Your performance in professional leagues, specifically some of the European leagues that are so competitive, and then your performance in some of the other great international championships. There's the International Cup, there's the CONCACAF games, there's all these other, there's the World Championships that are outside of just the World Cup, which happens every 4 years. The guys that I came up with that are sort of in the running as all-time great soccer players: Andres Iniesta from Spain was a World Cup champion. Johan Cruyff of the Netherlands won the World Cup Golden Ball, which is the World Cup goals leader, scoring champion. He won that twice. The Netherlands have been to the World Cup final 3 times, but never actually won one. Ronaldinho from Brazil, he was their best player from the late 90s up through the mid-2010s. He won a World Cup, won a Copa America championship, was a Champions League champion. You have to mention Ronaldo Nazario of Brazil as well, 2-time World Cup champion. He was their best player during that span when they went to 3 straight World Cup finals in the late 90s into the early 2000s. They're the only country to do that. And then you get to the Mount Rushmore, which I think are the ones that everybody knows. Diego Maradona from Argentina, Cristiano Ronaldo from Portugal, Pele from Brazil, and Lionel Messi from Argentina. Maradona was a World Cup champion, a World Cup Golden Ball Award winner. He was the South American Football Player of the Year multiple times, a UEFA Cup champion, won a Golden Ball at the World Cup as the goals leader. Ronaldo's won the Ballon d'Or 5 times, so that's very impressive. He's won 5 Champions League titles. He's won an EPL title. He was named the best player in FIFA multiple times, but he's never won a World Cup. Pele was a 3-time World Cup champion. I don't know if anybody's ever going to match that. He won the Golden Ball twice, and he was a 2-time Intercontinental Cup champion as well. But then you look at Messi, and it's not comparable. He's won the Ballon d'Or 8 times. He's won a World Cup. He's been the best FIFA player 5 times. He's been a Champions League champion 5 times, and he's been a Copa America winner twice. So already I think that Messi is the answer, but if Argentina wins on Sunday, he is definitively the answer. We shall certainly discuss that and much more and dive full on into football mode next week. But we're off for the weekend. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, and appreciate you letting me take some time away. We'll see you Monday, 4 p.m. In the meantime, enjoy the sun. It's Nuanez Now, 102.9 ESPN Radio.